Hello there my Jedi and Sith friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. I hope you're ready to feel the power of the dark side of the Force, because today we're talking about Maul Shadow Lord. As you guys know, I've been having a lot of fun with this show. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the last 4 episodes, but luckily we do have a season 2 on the way. And word on the street is that originally it was going to be one long 20 episode season, but they split it into 2, so Dave Filoni and Lucasfilm already know where they're heading with this, and that is very exciting. But today guys, ahead of the penultimate 2 episodes on Monday, episodes 7 and 8, I wanted to talk about something which I've not seen anyone else really discuss, and it concerns what I think Dave Filoni is secretly doing thematically, and something we're probably going to see on May the 4th with the last 2 episodes. But let me set the scene. So the big talking point at the end of episode 6 was Marrok reporting back to his lord, his senior, and informs the figure in the hologram that Maul is still alive, and that he's working with 2 Jedi. Obviously not the full truth, at least not at this point, but it is true that all 3 Force users are alive and well on Janix. And in my breakdown of the episode, I explained why I think that this person is almost certainly Darth Vader. I've seen some folks say it's Palpatine. It could be, but I doubt it. I know Palpatine would be interested in Maul's survival, but he's not typically the person the Inquisitors answer to. I've seen a few others theorize it might be the Grand Inquisitor. Again, the answer is no. This was debunked on StarWars.com's episode guide, and so the only person I can see Marrok calling his lord is Darth Vader himself. Someone who at first is going to send the 11th brother to aid Marrok, but eventually, I believe is going to step in himself. And even before the show dropped, I've spoken in depth about the ways Vader fits into all of this. Later in Star Wars Rebels, on Malachor, Maul knows for a fact he can't fight Vader alone, and the reason I think he knows this is he's tried it. But there's a component to this fight, this upcoming potential duel, that I think a lot of fans are missing, and that is its thematic significance that's going to change the way you see the Phantom Menace forever. In the same way that Maul's fight with Obi-Wan further down the line has a lot of depth and harkens back to a feud from the past, we have to consider what it really means for Vader to confront and duel Maul. It's more important than you think. And this really all goes back to episode 1. Let's consider the first time we see Maul fight. It isn't in Duel of the Fates at the end of the movie, it's earlier in the film on Tatooine, where Maul reveals himself to the Jedi, where the Sith come out of hiding.
At last we will have revenge.
This is the first time that Vader, young Anakin at the time, encounters him, and had Qui-Gon not told him to duck, it would have been over for the boy. So later in the movie, when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan face Maul on Naboo, the theme is titled Duel of the Fates for a reason. The scene acts as a pivotal turning point for Anakin Skywalker's destiny. It signifies a battle for Anakin's future, where Qui-Gon's death, one possible outcome, ensures Anakin is trained by Obi-Wan rather than the father figure he needed. There is an argument to be made, one that was made by Dave Filoni a few years ago, that had Qui-Gon survived, Anakin might never have turned to the dark side. He would have had the kind of master who was there for him, someone who could emotionally guide him when he needed it the most. Not the cold, detached philosophy of Master Yoda telling Anakin to let go, but someone who could connect to him like a father would to a son. Like I said, Obi-Wan did his best. He became like a brother to him, but even Master Kenobi could not dissuade Anakin from going down the path of darkness. It was really Qui-Gon who believed in the prophecy of the Chosen One. Qui-Gon saw something that the Council didn't, and in his time of grief and feeling lost, Qui-Gon might have been the perfect master to redirect him onto the right path. But one aspect of post-Phantom Menace that isn't spoken about enough is how badly Qui-Gon's death affected Anakin's psyche. In the prequel trilogy, the focus is so often on his fear of losing Padme and his mum. But there is a crucial aspect of Anakin's grief that is seldom shown, something highlighted in the comics between episodes 1 and 2. Anakin's pain after losing Qui-Gon translated to a deep hatred of Maul. And when I say Anakin hated Maul, he despised him. And it makes sense. Think of things from Anakin's perspective. He lost the man that freed him from slavery and gave him a way off Tatooine and the path to a life he wouldn't have otherwise had. Someone who was basically a surrogate father. With Master Qui-Gon dead, Anakin felt alone, and he felt as though he was surrounded by a sea of critics. Jedi like Mace Windu, who scrutinized his every move. Those who believed he was unfit to be a Jedi in the first place. But drawing upon these feelings, and to compensate, Anakin trained day and night, and as we learn in the comics, he trained for one very specific purpose. If Maul ever came back from the dead, he would be prepared to kill him. And so one day when Anakin was fighting a hologram of Maul, Mace Windu, who's watching, looks over at Obi-Wan and says, "What is the boy doing? Why is he doing that?" And Obi-Wan responds, "Anakin's been asking me about my fight with the Sith on Naboo. He's been asking me very detailed questions, but I assumed it was just natural curiosity. I had no idea he would do this." And Palpatine, watching Anakin, was enamored. Darth Sidious's grooming of the Padawan to make him his Sith apprentice had already begun, and at this stage everyone assumed Maul was dead. He hadn't been found by Savage Opress yet. And so watching Anakin fight a hologram of his former apprentice, Palpatine says, "A boy of Anakin's age altering a training droid in this way just to impress his teachers is simply unexpected. I would call it impressive." Palpatine saw so much raw potential, but despite training all his life for it, Anakin never got the opportunity to face and kill Maul. At least until Maul Shadow Lord. Anakin has now turned to the dark side. We're 1 year after the events of Revenge of the Sith, and the opportunity has presented itself for Vader to finally confront this menace. It's in a very different context, and a part of me thinks that Vader knows Marrok and the 11th brother are gonna fail. I think there is still a part of Vader that wants to fulfill this wish, confront Maul, and send him to the shadows. We know Maul has to survive by the skin of his teeth, but I assume Vader is going to come very close. But what is the motive? Is there a part of Vader deep down still Anakin that wants revenge over Maul for killing Qui-Gon? Maybe, but at this stage, when Anakin isn't redeemed yet, and still fueled by rage, I think a part of it is trying to get Maul out of the way, because Vader is the new apprentice. It's eliminating a threat to his power, and getting rid of a reminder of the past. It's going to be a high-stake, emotion-fueled battle. It's even more interesting when you consider that Darth Maul knows quite a lot about Anakin.
He is the key to everything.
And we know when it's happened in the past, with the likes of Jocasta Nu. When someone knows Vader's identity, he does not hold back. He lashes out. At this point, the name Anakin infuriates him. And by the way, guys, the lightsaber fights in the last 2 episodes were absolutely incredible. So I think a Vader versus Maul fight is gonna be huge. Word of mouth is gonna do wonders for it, and I think we're gonna be talking about that fight for a very long time. Very exciting stuff to come, I'm sure, my friends, but what do you think? What do you think of my theory? And if you want to learn more about Marrok, go and check out my breakdown of episodes 5 and 6. There's a reason he is the first brother. Could he be the canon version of Starkiller? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, my friends, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and may the Force be with you always.